Hi, my name is Sarah Smiley, RN/BSN, and this book review is Impartial Fulfillment of N5343, Nursing Leadership in Complex Healthcare Systems. So, the book that I chose to review is called First In, Last Out, Leadership Lessons from the New York Fire Department by John Solka. John Solka has been a firefighter since 1979. He, for the last 15 years, has been a battalion chief, meaning that he has 150 firefighters and 30 officers under his command at any one given time. He also travels the country giving lectures and seminars and retreats for a company called Five Alarm Leadership, as well as writing, obviously, books and articles circulated in magazines also across the country. So, the purpose of this book was to educate current and future leaders about leadership tactics and strategies. It's good because it follows steps. It has steps for leaders to follow. The information is very accessible, and he uses lots of anecdotes to illustrate and clarify his points, which is great. I mean, it's a book about firefighters. Who doesn't want to know anecdotes about firefighters? Target audience. The book is written for leaders of any organization. Obviously, a lot of his examples are fire department examples, but he also mentions companies such as IBM, and also talks about assembly line work such as automotive factories. The point is that it's general enough to where anybody can get into this book, anybody can use this book. So the objectives was to demonstrate the concept of first in, last out. His whole thought process of leadership, obviously coming from the fire department, is your leader is the first one in the door and the last one out the door. Sort of that protective, and I'm on the front line with you, getting your hands dirty kind of leadership. His three main principles for leadership are: one, follow the smoke. If anything is going to go wrong, there are going to be clues before it literally bursts into flames in his world, but before things go wrong in everybody else's. So look for those clues. Talk to people. He's very, very big on the hands-on. Talk to your workers. Treat people as assets. You hired them for a reason. They have strengths. Play to their strengths. Use their strengths. And develop leaders at all levels. From the newest employee to the guy who's been there 30 years, look for those leadership tendencies, foster them, nurture them, mentor them. Other concepts that he's really big on are self-awareness, know yourself, and then you can lead others. Know your company's mission, lead people in the direction of said mission. He's big on trust. He talks about how you cannot really have a working relationship without trust, and the way in which trust factors into not just running into a burning building, obviously, but in any sort of situation. He's big on when you walk into a problem, you need to observe, orient yourself to what's going on, decide what you're going to do, and then act. He also talks about other concepts: innovation, mentoring, and motivation. So the strengths of this particular book are: the writing is very clear and concise. The anecdotes are well placed and applicable. He's not just seasoned old firefighter talking about giving us war stories. No, they're very applicable to all the lessons that he gives. The thing I like the most about the book is at the end of each chapter, he kind of gives you a little synopsis of everything you learned in the chapter. Therefore, you can reference it quite easily. The language is both familiar and professional at the same time, so you can get into it and feel familiar. The author uses his own strengths and weaknesses, talks about the things that he's done wrong. It makes it even more accessible, somebody who's in this great organization has done all these cool things, but he's still human. So that's very cool. It asks for weaknesses, but I don't really see many weaknesses in this particular book. So who would I recommend this to? Everyone. Anyone who's in a leadership position, who wants to be in a leadership position, or anybody who has to work in an environment with other people. So really, anyone. I think that this book would be a great resource for leaders, and I would highly recommend it. And the last slide is a reference. So thank you very much for your time, and like I said, pick the book up. It's good. Thank you.